Brothers fist fight over pedophilia in the congregation. Is this what's happening? Well, it is happening in a French congregation. So as you can see, I tried to put the French JW org on there to properly represent which congregation or which country this is happening in, or this has happened. And perhaps this is an ongoing thing, brothers fighting over pedophilia. Now, this is a big question to a lot of the brothers, is who has more pedophilia in it, the Catholic Church or Jehovah's Witnesses? What do you guys think? Now, to answer that question, who has more pedophilia per capita, I went to ChatGPT-4 for the answer, and it goes out and gets as much of the information as it can. I'll just share that with you on the screen here. For the Catholic Church, the scope, it says enormous global membership, 1.3 billion. CSA cases, tens of thousands of documented abuse victims over decades. And the notable findings in a 2004 U.S. John Jay College report found about 4% of the priests had allegations against them from 1950 to 2002. And some dioceses have released extensive clergy abuse lists and have cooperated to a degree with legal investigations. Accountability, public awareness, lawsuits have forced some institutional change and large-scale payouts. Now, when we look at Jehovah's Witnesses, scope, a much smaller religion, 8.5 million globally. CSA cases, hundreds of allegations globally, but underreported due to the secretive policies. Notable issues, the Australian Royal Commission found 1,006 alleged perpetrators within the religion, and not one was reported to the police. 1,006 is what they found. Now let's just do some math here. There's 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses. There's in Australia, there's 70,000, 71,000, a little over, ministers, Jehovah's Witnesses. So if we go back to this math that we're doing, we have 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses. And if we divide that number by the 70,000 roughly, we come up with this number, 121. It goes into 8.5 million, 121 times. So if we think that in Australia there was 1,006 cases for that little bit of population, and we use that formula worldwide, we take the 121 and we times it by 1,006, and it comes up with 122,157 pedophiles in the Jehovah's Witness religion. That's what this number gives us if we use the Australian number. So that's a pile of people, especially these pedophiles, if they're kept secret within the organization. It's a big problem. So this is what the Australian Royal Commission found. The religion's two-witness rule has protected the abusers, and Jehovah's Witnesses routinely shun victims who speak out or leave the faith. Now, the accountability part, actively they resist legal cooperation, they destroy documents, and they settle the cases quietly. Now, the per capita comparison, this is very rough because no one's really doing this. While the Catholic abuse cases outnumber those in Jehovah's Witnesses in absolute terms per capita, it's very likely. Now you see there's more Catholic because it's a big religion, 1.3 billion. But Jehovah's Witnesses being 8.5 million, when we look at the per capita of pedophilia, it says it's very likely that Jehovah's Witnesses have a higher rate of CSA incidents relative to their membership. So for all those years, I know when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I was telling everyone that the Catholics had this big problem and they have all this CSA going on in their religion. And here, unbeknownst to me, I didn't have any knowledge. I was in every congregation I was in, I'm sure there were pedophiles, hidden ones, and even elders. I know that for a fact. Now, here's some of the problems. It says per capita comparison, several reasons why GP4 chat is ChatGPT4 is saying this. It says the smaller size, even dozens of cases, reflect a higher ratio. So when you look at a smaller size of a religion. So with Jehovah's Witnesses, all you have to do is plug it into the internet and you see that there's a lot of CSA cases coming up that they've been hiding. Now here's the next point. It says more aggressive internal silencing. So we look at the Catholic Church, people just go to church, they don't really know what's going on. But within the Jehovah's Witness religion, there's an aggressive eternal silencing of the pedophiles. In fact, they keep it secret who is a pedophile that still is in the congregation. It's pretty secretive. It's not something that's put on a bulletin board like in most cases. Now, here's the other problem. Less transparency and external scrutiny until recently. So Jehovah's Witnesses have not been transparent. No one's been scrutinizing them. But recently, there's been a push all over the world. Apostates are speaking up and governments are speaking up, like here from the Royal Commission. They sum it up. They say the Jehovah's Witness organization failed to respond adequately to child sex abuse, and the two-witness rule is not suitable for abuse cases. It doesn't work. Abuse is a crime. If you want to go to the Bible really speaks harshly about the criminals who carry on this type of abuse. It says in the Old Testament they would have the death penalty. But of course, we don't run society by the Old Testament. We run society by a democratic rule, mostly in these countries that are fighting this. And even in the other countries, communist countries that are fighting this as well, they just simply don't allow Jehovah's Witnesses to run the religion in their countries. But the two-witness rule is not suitable. The little girl comes forth and says, hey, this has happened. The elder says, no, that's a lie. So everyone believes the elder, and then eventually they publicly reprove the little girl as she grows up and keeps speaking out what's happening. So this is what's going on. That gives us a little insight into GP chat, what it's saying, what's happening all over the world. I would tend to agree with this. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and we'll carry on to what really got this article going. Okay, so we like to thank Pimi Tupomo for posting this. We follow him on Twitter, and he says this recently happened in a local French congregation. So I said this happened in French, but he's saying it was a local congregation, but a French congregation. And he said at least 3 brothers with privileges, these could be elders, right? Or they could be, pioneers. They could be ministerial servants. It's hard to say. Maybe one was an elder, one was a servant. Who knows? But it says at least 3 brothers with privileges got into a fist fight, and accusations of being a pedophile got thrown around in front of everyone. And you see, this is coming out now. They know a lot of this stuff is being hidden within the congregation. So when they find this out, there's a problem in the Jehovah's Witness congregation. It says an email was sent out to do damage control. So we have the email here. It's French original to the English translation. And I'm going to pull that up. And before I do that, I'm going to get the picture up there so you guys can see those brothers fist fighting. It says there was over 3, at least 3 or more brothers. So when I made the thumbnail, I put 5 in. and tried to get it looking like it should. So let's read this story. It says, this is the quick note from the elder. It says, a quick note from your elders. Dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, first of all, the body of elders wants to tell you how deeply we love each of you. We want to remind you that we are here for you. If what happened at the Kingdom Hall yesterday makes you feel worried or questioning, please do not hesitate to write or call us. Although we are not immune from experiencing difficult times, Jehovah cares for us so well. We know that Jehovah watches over us at all times, that our extraordinary leader, our King Jesus Christ, by means of the Holy Spirit right up here, is there. Whenever 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. So, folks, you got 2 or 3 brothers in the picture below fighting at the Kingdom Hall. So they must have Jesus in their midst. That's what it says in Matthew here. Whenever 2 or 3 are fighting together. Oh no, gathered together, it says. Okay, well, they're kind of gathered. They're fighting, touching each other in a harsh way. Well, here's what it says. This elder says in his letter to the brothers. He says that our unparalleled organization works very hard to keep us safe. That in our beautiful congregation, the college is taking this direction. The colleague? I don't know if that's a translation thing. The body. I think that's the body is taking this direction. They call him an elder's body. It says, seriously and following it up very closely. We witnessed all these truths together yesterday, and we saw all this wisdom and love in action, and we are beyond grateful that we were standing shoulder to shoulder bringing glory to Jehovah. They never even touched the pedophilia stuff. This is just all a bunch of fluff to try to keep them from quitting the religion, I think. And then it goes on to say, when situations persist that can shake us, like this pedophile fight, let us cast our anxieties on Jehovah, and again, do not hesitate to sweep it all under the carpet. Well, that's my words. Do not hesitate to share. So it goes way down here. And again, do not hesitate to share them with us. So these elders want to know what everyone's issues were. They want to know who has the issues. They want letters. They want phone calls. They want to deal with this. That's what this tells me. And it ends up saying, with that, we look forward to meeting together at the Kingdom Hall on Tuesday. I think a bunch of these guys said we're quitting. Your brothers. So that's what I think. I think a bunch of elders were quitting. Now there's the French version of this. This is the French version. If you want to pause the video, you can read it in French. Here it is. And that's the one someone translated that over. And Pimo to Pomo, we want to thank you for getting this out to us. So that's what we have happening, folks, in the congregations. There's fighting going on. Well, the internet's here. Nothing's hidden. Everything that's hidden will be revealed. Like the New World Translation says that over and over again. Don't the elders realize that? Don't the governing body realize that? Everything that is hidden will be revealed. There will be an accounting for all of the hidden CSA cases. Australia opened up 1,000 of them. There's 120, over 100,000, 120 some thousand. If we do that math all over the world, there's over 120 some thousand cases. And we're only seeing, folks, a few here and there being dealt with. This problem has not been dealt with within the Jehovah's Witness religion. They have not yet taken accountability for their elders book, their 2 witness rule. That's in their old elders book, and that's where they're being held accountable. Now in the new elders book, they changed it, and they said if the state says you have to report it, then you have to report it. But if the state says you don't have to report it, guess what? You don't have to report it. And this is what Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't have a unified, they're not unified worldwide. Some states they report it, some states they don't report it. Canada, they're supposed to report it, but I know that it's hidden. It's hidden here in Canada. So all over the world, just like Australia, this problem is hidden. There's elders. I know of 2 incidences where elders were serving because they denied the charge from this young girl. 2 elders I know served the whole duration, and they have never been questioned by authorities for pedophilia, the crime. All they have to do, according to the old elders book, is say, yeah, no, I didn't do this. And the 2-witness rule stands. So this is what's happening, folks. This is why it's such a big problem. The Catholic Church, this started to be exposed back in 2002. A lot of it's, they came out, they did a lot of payouts. They had to sell a couple dioceses in Pennsylvania that I know of. And they're paying things out. They're paying out class actions. In fact, the payouts are averaging about $384,000 US per victim. And of course, all this stuff is hidden. It's all, you signed NDAs when you get your money, non-disclosure agreements. They don't want you talking about it. They just want to give you a big check and send you off. Now, I know some of the Jehovah's Witness ones are settling for $35 million because of the shredding of records and the hiding of things. So we're going to see what happens coming up here. We're going to expose as much as we can on this channel. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Help us push this channel even further. You can do that. All you have to do is hit subscribe. We thank you for all of you members out there that have been on and subscribing and watching our videos. Thank you very much. It really helps push the videos, and it helps make our activism worthwhile. So that's what it's all about, folks, is letting everyone know what's going on in the Jehovah's Witness religion. And I'm sorry to say, but there's some problems. And we're just hearing about the tip of the iceberg here. Brothers fighting over this. Could you imagine being in the congregation now if you've been out for years and years like myself? I couldn't even imagine it. If you got wind of this. There's a lot of truth seekers out there, a lot of people that are willing to stand up for what's right. And some of them guys are behind some of them fists. Some of them are. They're just so fed up. So that's what's happening, folks. We get out of the religion, get out of that religion. Don't listen to any elder's letter that tells you to come back. You get out, go for a walk with your dog every day. Use your time wisely. If you want to volunteer, your best volunteer is go work at the local food bank. There's a lot of government-run food banks. You work there, you're helping, contributing to the poor. Even Jehovah's Witnesses elders book tells them to send their people to the local government-run food banks when they have problems, because Jehovah's Witnesses do not look after their own. They do not feed their own in natural disasters. They do not have a humanitarian program to feed everyone that's without a home or a place to live or without a meal, without fresh water. They're sending their people to the food banks. Last year alone, they said they only put out $6 million in humanitarian aid. That's just a drop in the bucket. This religion, Canada alone, contributes $90 million in cash donations. $90 million a year from Canada. Canada could do that whole $6 million that they brag about on their latest broadcast. Canada could do that alone. If we take Canada's number, that's about $525 US a year that people donate, and that's about right. It's about what we were donating. And if you take those stats all over the world, this organization is raking in around $5 billion a year. And what's it doing with all its money? Well, I guarantee you most of it's going for lawyers' bills and payouts of CSA. They're building property. They're advancing. They're a rich organization. They're hiding everything. And they're putting out $6 million only in humanitarian needs. and telling you to go to the local food bank? Well, folks, this is not a charity. This is a business. It's raking in all this money, and it's not helping the poor. It's not helping the poor. It's protecting pedophiles. It's no wonder the brothers are fighting within this religion. I think this religion is seeing its last days. Well, that's all I have for you today, folks. Keep living your life with love. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.